All right, well, I'm Lisa Fotis. I'm the Director of Marketing and Digital Engagement here at Belwith Keeler, and I have with me today David, and he is Director of Innovation.
Innovation and design. So.
Yes. We're super excited. I hope you had a chance to browse our booth. We have lots of new product information there. We also have live sessions here today, 1 p.m., and also tomorrow. And make sure to look at all of our videos. We have lots of designer talks that give you information about the inspiration of our collections and all the hard work that our designers put into our product. So I'm going to hand it over to David. He's going to talk about our brand new 2021 collections and our new finish. We're super excited to introduce.
So take it away, Dave. Here I am. Good to see everyone again. I'm glad you could hook up with us. What I'm going to walk you through today is the Belwith Keeler pieces as well as the Hickory hardware pieces. I know you're interested in both, and talking to a lot of you last year, we had a lot of tables out with a lot of product. So this year we're a lot more focused on some of the things we're launching. We'll start with Belwith Keeler, and I know Lisa mentioned we're excited about this new finish. So one of the new finishes that we have coming out is the champagne bronze. You can see it here in the sandrine, which is a real heavy, a lot of texture. And this piece really shows off the color of the part, the way it can reflect light and shadow. Just a great durable finish. It goes a lot with a lot of the plumbing that's out there. So a lot of you designers that are speccing things out with the plumbing, the faucets, shower heads, we looked at a lot of the champagne bronzes that are out there and found a color that works with almost all of them. It's a mutual thing. Here you can see it in the Monarch. And the reason we have both these out is color reflects differently on a flat versus a textured part. So even with our color samples, color chips that we provide, you get a textured piece, you also get a flat piece. And it just allows you to see how different a part can look. Again, a lot of it's based on lighting and shadow. So we're super excited to be introducing this new finish. We had a lot of people asking for it and commenting that they would love to see it. So we are listening. That's one thing we commend ourselves on, is listening and being solution providers. So we appreciate all your input over the years. What you have here are 4 new groups for 2021. We have the Coventry, kind of a traditional transitional piece. Much, by itself, it's pretty contemporary, but when used with backplates, it has this like regal feel to it. Kind of brings it, based on finish too. You can change the style from transitional to traditional, give it a little traditional twist. If you want to upgrade a cabinet, say you had 3-inch holes, the nice part about the back plates is it covers the holes, and you can upgrade to a larger, longer size, 128. Again, BGB, satin nickel, big sellers. I want to talk a little bit about Anders. Anders is a new group, matte black, nice matte black, nice subtle finish. All these parts, I want to mention, they're designed in-house by a team of 5 designers. We work both with CAD, with 3D printers, but in the end, it's about the weight of the part and the touch and feel. So, when you look at these parts, you should realize that there's like a human side to it. So as much as we use CAD and machines, we really rely on the touch and the feel of the final decided part, the scale of the part, the weight of the part. It's all about the touch and feel. So Anders is kind of a combination of modern, contemporary. We looked a lot at Memphis design And when you look at Memphis design, you realize that it's a lot of stacking of geometry. A lot of the Memphis furniture starts out, it's almost like beads on a necklace. So if you can imagine that, that's kind of what we were shooting for in this group. It's got a nice little subtle curve on the top. And so when you grab it, you feel it on the bottom. There's just a slightest little arc on this thing. So when you grab it, you really notice it when you feel it. That has two purposes. It's a good feeling part, but it also sets us apart as a company, because when we design these, they come out of a tool, and when the two pieces of the tool open, you have a parting line. So we put in features that make that parting line disappear. It makes it look like it's a turning, so there's no flaws in the part. And that's what sets us apart from the competition, is that we're able to go in and do those tweaks, work closely with manufacturing, and get the details that we want to get out of this part. So that is the Andrews collection. The next collection I want to show you is Corsa. Corsa actually has its roots in our archives back in 1953. We did find a lot of parts that had this theme going on, with a ring and something that you would grab and put your fingers into and pull. So a lot of the parts back then were wider. So parts in the 50s, mid-century modern, the parts were a little bit wider, a little bit heavier. So we brought them back to where they should be today. We wanted to give it a little bit lighter feel, not so invasive on the cabinets, and work well with the cabinets. You see this shape a lot in lighting, mirrors, furniture. It's kind of that pill shape. So we wanted to bring this back from the 1953 archive and give it a modern twist. It's got a real nice elegance to it. I'd like to say it's, light, it's petite, it's feminine, but it allows you to grab it. It also has like a built-in back plate. So you can see in this part, you get two options for hole sizes, as well as the smaller. So, the 96, the 128, 160, 192 millimeter. This will accommodate all those right down to the knob, which is basically like a ring. Awesome group. The name Corsa, Italian for oval track, basically. When we named the part, it had nothing to do with racing, but we liked the shape and wanted to bring in that word to it to associate. The next group I want to talk about is Reserve. And so this is a mixed media part. We're super good at doing what we do in metal, and we always challenge ourselves to go beyond that and bring in some mixed materials. So a lot of the new groups, like last year you saw Ferenz, where we introduced marble. We wanted to introduce a chestnut colored leather, full grain cowhide. There's stitching, hand stitching on this, on the inside, as well as around the outside. The full grain leather is kind of cushy when you go to feel it. There's a little bit of give there, so it's kind of a nice feel. It's warm. So when you have this in your kitchen, you're not always grabbing a cold thing. It's got a warm touch to it. The knob itself has an inlay of the same leather. Matte black, BGB satin nickel. Again, the color is like a chestnut. Full grain leather. Nice to the touch. And this thing, I want to let you know too that the patina on this over time is going to make this thing look so much richer. Easy to clean, ready to go. So that's the whole Belwith Keeler line, new launch items for 2021. Now we're going to walk over to the Hickory side. So Hickory, as you all know, has been around for a while. We've upgraded some of the displays, the new catalog, and we're introducing in 2021 two new groups, Maven and Dover. So Maven, we'll start out with, is a real interesting group. This was a collaboration of our design team in going through many facets of the design of this part. It's, again, has kind of that pill shape like we looked at in Belwith Keeler. Used vertically, horizontally on the cabinets, but it also has a concave that is kind of reminiscent of mid-century modern. You know, some of the like Leo Saarinen tables you see from like Herman Miller, that kind of shape from that era. Again, ergonomics. This piece just has a really good feel to it. When you go to grab it, your thumb naturally goes right into the center of that part. Some of the finishes we offer are super durable. A lot of things, when you touch them, they leave oil or fingerprints. The type of finishes we're using resist that. Easy to clean. We're thinking about all that. The knobs have the same details. The knobs have the little concave top. Kind of a petite version. Slender, tall. Want to talk about finger height? We do have standards for that. We have standards for a lot of things. But with certain designs, we're able to go outside of those standards sometimes. So we wanted to do kind of a toggle type knob, as well as, you know, your standard knob with, you know, 3/4 inch finger height, 1.25 inch diameter. I think this one is 3/4 diameter. This one's kind of more of a pinch thing, but it could be used that way too. And then we also introduced this piece, which could be used as a knob, but it also comes with an attachment, an 832 thread with a wood screw on the other end, to allow it to be used as a hook on the wall. And what we're seeing a lot of people do with these is either buy random colors or all the same color, but put them on your wall in random spots. Not just so much a line, but it kind of, you know, it's an artistic expression of the way you could use this piece. So this could be a, you know, a knob or a hook. Want to talk about Dover a little bit? Last but not least, Dover has a really thin, nice strapped shape to it. Again, you can feel the ergonomics. You can feel a slight arch here. We pay attention to the front, top, back. You know, when we're designing these things, we're looking at every angle and every facet. We're really critiquing these. Some of these go through like 3 different evolutions, 4 or 5 maybe, before we come to a final piece that we want to launch and tool. Cut pull, getting into those. We got quite a few cut pulls coming out. People wanted those, and we listened again on this one. But the nice thing with this is the arch. It's a lot like the Euro Contemporary version, but this is a more traditional version, I guess. But the arch is the same. It has a really good feel to it. You get the finger height in the middle. Standard finger height on most pulls is 3/4 inch, but on some of these, we've allowed it to go a little higher, and it's not as intrusive because you start out really low at the surface of the cabinet, and the arch is at the peak there, so your hand's just guided right into it. That same arch shape transcends into the knob. So if you hold that knob and look at the side profile, you're going to see that same arch. So that design element carries through the whole piece, as well as the steps and the feet. It gives it a real transitional look with a little bit of traditional element. This group is also offered with a hook. Screwing from the front, again, the same details, the steps, the slight arch. on the face of the hook itself. Just carried through the whole collection until you get to the cup hole. Again, the arch, the underside, paid attention. We got the lip there. When it's flat on the surface, you got curve. You know, there's no obtrusive spots. You're not going to bang your finger on anything. And it just feels good to the touch. And that's one thing about the matte black too. It has kind of a sheen to it. Like, it's almost like the cover of the catalog. It just feels good. It almost feels like it's rubberized or something, but it's just that matte sheen, that consistent sheen. So those are the collections for 2021, the new collections.
Thank you, David. So we would love to be able to facilitate any questions for you today. Just go ahead and enter a comment. I did have a couple comments. I've been working with some designers, and this was interesting. You guys might be interested in this. With Corsa and also Coventry and even these large cup holes, they were super excited because of the uptick in remodeling and the ability, especially for this, to be able to kind of skirt the center to center. Yes. And be able to kind of mask if they wanted to change to a longer pull. So they were super excited about that. And even backplate, just being able to kind of accommodate the old screw holes.
Yeah, and myself included. I just redid my kitchen, and I did go with Corsa because I wanted to go longer with a pull, but I didn't want to repair the holes that were in the existing cabinets. So, you know, anything with a backplate like that, or where you can get multiple holes, will give you that chance to go longer. And, you know, 3-inch was the norm when I started at Belwith 15 years ago. Then it went to 96, and now it's 128 millimeter and on up. So I think I went with 192 on this piece right here. The same thing with the cup hole. You know, you get the option of 3 different center to centers. So that's the beauty of, you know, what we're doing and thinking about, trying to give options here, especially on replacement or upgrades.
For sure.
But this too, I always talk about finger height, but that is a big thing. You know, we pride ourselves on paying attention to that. You know, even my fat little fingers can fit in here, and a lot of companies stick to 3/4. I think this is not an inch, but it's like 0.900, you know, 900 thousandths. It's a good thing because you can grab it. Most people always, you know, when they pick up hardware, you know, out of the cabinet and they want to purchase it, and they always grab it like that. But usually, you know, you're doing this finger thing anyways, so you're not really grabbing it like that. But a lot of our hardware, we did give it more, you know, more finger room. A little more height, a little more projection.
Feels a little bit more comfortable.
And just looking at, so I did talk about, like, as a designer, we're not designing this thing just from the front. We're looking at the sides, and I think Anders is a good example of that. Just some of the details we put in there. Again, a lot of geometry, modern, Memphis style.
Totemic is our key word with that, yes.
Like a totem pole. In the catalogs, I do want to talk about these.
Yeah,
some of the new catalogs that we have coming out. Amazing photography. The finishes, even on the catalog, I feel represent, you know, the hardware that we're producing. We're paying attention to all the details. And so we got some great literature here.
If you go to our website too, on the navigation menu under resources, you can get the digital catalogs and you can flip through them. You can even search them by collection. So if you are looking for a particular collection, they're mobile friendly. So make sure you go check those out. Yeah. All right, you guys. Well, it was great for spending time with you today. Come back tomorrow. We have another session at 1 p.m. Take a look at all of the videos. If you come up and formulate more questions, we're happy to answer them.